Hi everyone, my name is Brenna Marsicek. I'm the Director of Communications for Madison Audubon, and today I have a surprise Facebook Live for you because we are out at Faville Grove Sanctuary, which is outside of Lake Mills, Wisconsin, looking for orchids. It's one of my favorite days of the year. This species of orchid that we're looking for is Wisconsin endangered and federally threatened. It's called the Eastern Prairie White-Fringed Orchid. It is a species that's in major decline because of the habitat that it relies on, which is a wet mesic prairie, is very much diminished from what it used to be. And the species that pollinates it, which is a type of sphinx moth, is also in decline. So this type of orchid is a treat to find and is one that we are tracking here at Madison Audubon every year since around the late 90s. So the way that we do this, we have a line of people that set up on one edge of the prairie, and we're about 10 feet or so apart, and as we move together through the prairie looking at the ground, we search for this white orchid that grows in a stalk, usually a single to a couple stalks, and it has numerous white fringed flowers. I'll show you here in just a second. So when someone sees one, they shout out in joy, and Drew, the land steward here, comes in, tracks or marks with the GPS the location of this orchid, and if it's appropriate, if the flower is in the state that's good for this, then he or one of the interns brings over a toothpick, and with that toothpick they reach into the mouth of the orchid, pull out some pollen. They do this because we are transferring pollen from this prairie, this population of orchids, with another population of orchids south of Fort Atkinson. And it's a great program for increasing the viability of the seed set, and it's really good for the population of the orchids. So we are working with the DNR and Fairmeadow State Natural Area, which is Fort Atkinson area there. So like I said, it's a really interesting species that relies on old often remnant prairies. It's believed that this species is really interested in the mycorrhizae that are underground, so the fungi communities that are growing underground that it really relies on. So if you're doing a restoration, it's unlikely to have this species early on in the process because the egg field that it used to be wouldn't have that type of mycorrhizal community. So these older restorations are usually where you would find one of these. And again, it has to be a wet mesic prairie. They like to be wet. So typically in a survey year, we would have about 150 or so orchids that we find on this count between the prairie that we're on now and another one here at Faville Grove. This year, the numbers, it's too early to tell, so we'll find out. I'll let you know later. But here, I'll show you what this species looks like. Get close enough, stalk, and it's usually one or two stalks at one time. So that's just a quick update here from the field. If you have any questions, type them in and I'll see if I can answer them as long as I have reception. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you soon.